Well. Beautiful people, best damn nation. It is Wednesday, and you know what time it is. It is the best damn wrestling podcast. My name is Brian Renegade, and with me, I have the best damn crew. I got your boy LP, the Don, in the building.
No.
And I got Chef Showtime with me.
Was good.
Oh man. Thank you, beautiful people, for joining us. You could be anywhere in the world, but you right here watching your boys, the best damn crew. Thank you for watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. Also, for all of our radio listeners on iHeartRadio, on Pandora, on Spotify, and now Google Podcast. Thank you for watching us and listening to us each and every Wednesday. You can catch all 20 episodes of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. Fellas, we 20 episodes in, man. That's a big accomplishment for us all. I feel really good about that. LP, what's going on with you, my brother?
Man, same old, man. Trying to make it. Hope all is well.
Oh man, everything is good. I see your OCU shirt. What is that, sir?
Oh, I always promote myself. That's One Click University. That's my everything I wear. Got to be promote my business.
Oh man, hey, small business owners, entrepreneurs, like I told you, beautiful people. LP does it all. That's a nice shirt, sir. Got to give me Florida vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
Well, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Chef Showtime. What's happening, my brother?
Pretty good. Chilling, relaxing.
I've never been to the Bell before. Mine is now today. Mostly, thank you for the follow.
I'm
gonna
hearing
be
some extra. Okay. I don't know. It sounds like a sitcom. I was like, what did you do? Oh man. Thank you, beautiful people, for joining us. Listen, it's been a lot of stuff going on in the wrestling world. And we got to do it each and every week. It's my favorite topic and segment. Beautiful people, prepare yourself for hot topics. Man, the Raw and SmackDown shows were pretty good, man, this week. LP, I want to get your take on the SmackDown and Raw shows for this week. Let's go ahead and do the grading system. A through F, how did you feel like SmackDown and Raw performed this week?
I think I give them both a B-. I'll be nice today. I give them both a B-. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't nothing great to me, but it definitely been better than the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think it was some pretty solid shows, man. A lot of the young talent are looking really good on the SmackDown and Raw products. Chef Showtime, what would you grade Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown?
I would give it a B+. It did way better. It's starting to look up.
All right, you guys are being pretty generous.
Yeah.
All right. B+. All right. You know what? I gotta stay in line with you guys. I thought that both Raw and SmackDown has stepped up both of the shows. It's been a lot going on, man, and so I think I would be in the B range also. WWE, thank you for stepping up the product. I know you have been hearing us complain here on the Best Damn Wrestling podcast because we're fans, man. We want to see a great product each and every week, and we don't want to see regurgitated crap being thrown at us and forcing us to accept it. So we like fresh products, and I think they're listening to the fans. Finally, they're listening to the fans and seeing what they want out of their WWE product. So clap claps and tap taps all around. But let's go into SmackDown, right? So on SmackDown, we saw Sheamus versus the one and only Sami Zayn. In a hell of a match, man. I think people underestimate how good of a wrestler that Sami is. They see Sami on the card and they get a little, I'm like, oh, okay, I can beat Sami Zayn. But Sami is crafty, and now that he is with the bloodline, he's even more dangerous than ever. The match was really good. Ultimately, Sami Zayn defeated Sheamus in a legendary bloodline fashion. I want to get your thoughts on the match and how you think the growth of both Sheamus and Sami, who have been around for a long time. These are mainstay guys on the roster. Sami Zayn is a NXT original. He came up through NXT, and Sheamus has been in WWE for a while, man. It's good to see these guys still around and still kicking amongst all of these NXT sharks. LP, what do you think about the career that Sheamus has had so far on the main roster and still being able to remain relevant all of these years?
I think it's good. I really think Sheamus is probably the only wrestler that came around his generation that still really. He got other wrestlers that's in his generation that's wrestling, but he's still pretty much in the storyline. I don't really see nobody else that was, I guess, his class. I'm trying to think of what year Sheamus came out, but that was around John Cena-ish era. I think it was after the Ruthless Aggression. I can't remember when Sheamus came, but he's been there for a while. But I think when I look at like him, I look at like the older guys like The Miz and the ones that's around, but they're not really doing nothing. I think Sheamus is finding a way to keep himself still going with get his little squad, and he's still pretty popular. I think it was not to that match too. I think it was good. Without the bloodline though, he would have destroyed Sami. I like Sami, but come on, Sheamus is a powerhouse kind of guy, and he's a great wrestler. So he never would have. Sami would never would have beaten straight up. Come on, that's not good. He's too crazy.
Sheamus is a great wrestler, man, and I think that this generation of wrestling fans is able to see that. I've always been a Sheamus fan, but just the work that he's done lately and being able to take two guys under his wing in a Butch or Pete Dunne, as we call him, and Ridge Holland, and bringing those young guys up and really making them SmackDown mainstays. I think that he's doing a really great job in that aspect. Sheamus puts on banger after banger after banger. He puts on great matches, man, every single time, and you need wrestlers like that. And I know we had talked about Ronda Rousey last weekend and being able to actually lead a match. Sheamus is one of those guys who knows how to lead a match, and he knows how to beat the hell out of you at the same time. But he can lead a match. He can make anybody look good, but he's going to bring some aggression out of you, and that's what you need. And I think that's what we were criticizing Ronda Rousey for last week. To be able to still be a dominant figure, but also lead the match where it looks good. Nothing sloppy, is clean. Sheamus is one of those guys who's a brawler, and I love brawlers. I've always been a fan of the brawlers. Ever since the 80s, man. I've always loved that brawling style. So I think that Sheamus is doing good. And Sami Zayn, of course, he got a rocket attached to his back, man. He's going to be on Raw and SmackDown almost every show because Sami Zayn is gold. And I have been preaching the praises of Sami Zayn for a long time, since the beginning of the podcast. You know what I'm saying? So you guys have been hating on me a little bit. And LP, I know we had that little conversation about Sami Zayn, and I was like, hey, Sami Zayn's WrestleMania match with Johnny Knoxville was the best match on the card, and I got criticism for it. But it's
Come on now, don't do too much now. That's the best match on the card at WrestleMania. Come on now.
Hey, listen, it's memorable. What other matches do you remember off the top of your head? Go.
I mean, it was memorable because it was a comedy match, but I ain't gonna say.
Comedy match as it may be, sir. It was still one of the best matches on the card. But I understand what you're saying. But hey, man, Sami Zayn is he's going to be an absolute legend, man, by the time all of this stuff is said and done. Also, fellas, we saw your boy Kofi Kingston against Gunther on Friday night SmackDown. Listen, I have to say this. I am a Kofi Kingston fan. I do not like the way Kofi's chest looks. I have to be 100% honest. I don't know what happened to Kofi's chest, man. His nipples are cockeyed. You know, they just so spread apart. It's almost like in his armpits. And he had just this open plane, and now I'm like, man, Gunther is going to chop the soul out of Kofi Kingston. He got that, and it was a great match. I enjoyed the match. I know I just ragged on Kofi, but I'm a huge Kofi Kingston fan, man, and I'm glad that he got a little bit of shine, being a singles competitor like he is. But what did you guys think about the Kofi Kingston versus Gunther match? Let me go, Chef Showtime.
It was brutal. It was brutal. I felt bad for Kofi for a while. I did. I was gonna cry for him, you know. I was gonna call CBS. So it's like, man,
not Jody say cry for you. Oh man, yeah, it was a very hard hitting match, man, and yeah, I love to see it. I want to see more matches with Kofi like that, man. Some challenging matches. LP, what did you think about the Kofi versus Gunther match?
It went pretty much like how I saw it in my head when they said they were gonna do it. Like I knew he was. I'm glad they won a squash match. I thought it was gonna be a squash match at first. I'm glad they didn't do it like that, which they could have. I mean, I think it was decent. I think Kofi. It's hard to explain where you see Kofi. Like, where is he at? Like, without even a New Day is not even. It's kind of like without Big E, they're not the same no more. And then
they're a little different. Yeah.
Yeah, and if Xavier Woods was to stay hurt too long, it would just be Kofi by himself. Kofi would just be. I don't even know what he would be. He's not even a mid carder. Like, he has nothing going on. So I think I'm kind of worried about Kofi's where's Kofi headed, because it don't look well for Kofi. It don't look good for him or Xavier Woods, to be honest.
I honestly think that they would benefit from a draft, and I think that the shows. I mean, I think that they just need to shake some things up a little bit, especially move some of the girls over to SmackDown, and then vice versa, to get some fresh eyes. But SmackDown is honestly the show to be on. SmackDown is the highest rated wrestling show each week in WWE, more than AEW, more than Impact, more than any other wrestling show that you see. So a lot of people want to be on the SmackDown show because it gets more eyeballs. But the thing is, it has a short amount of time. I'm not sure. Do you guys stay up all night to watch Raw? It's a 3-hour show, man. Uh, and I know especially on the East Coast, the show usually starts around what time? About 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 hours is a long time to stay up sometimes. I have to go and watch it in the mornings just to catch up on what goes on because I start to nod off and fade. But man, speaking of Kofi Kingston, the New Day have been spotted in NXT. And the beautiful thing about that is the New Day are now after the NXT Tag Team titles. They're supposed to face the team Pretty Deadly, which is a NXT UK mainstay team. I think that's going to be interesting. And I think if the New Day do get the NXT Tag Team titles, they can bring new life to the show. I have to get the opinion of one of the guys. LP, what do you think about the New Day going down to NXT?
I think it's horrible. I think it's horrible that they allowing a tag team to hold on to 2 belts for no reason, and you sending your other great tag team to a developmental series to fight for the belt. I mean, that's gonna be my biggest gripe until they get rid of this undisputedness, because there's no way Jimmy and Jay need to have both belts. You literally have probably more tag teams now than we have ever had in years in WWE. Just like even on SmackDown, you got, I think it's the lamest, they horrible, but the Viking Raiders, like you got these guys who's supposed to be so dominant and a powerful tag team, but they haven't ran up on the boys yet. So you can't have a tag team without having the belt. Like I mean, I understand why they probably doing it to maybe get more eyes on NXT, but that's developmental. Since it's not a brand, they keep on saying it's not a brand. It's still in their eyes, it's still developmental. They're the New Day. They had the belts longer than any other champion up until recently. Like they were late. Now y'all gotta go fight for the belts over there on a wrestling match on a wrestling show that takes place in a gym.
LP, sir.
It's like, come on, man. I know y'all think I'll be ragging on NXT, but NXT is developmental. It's Ohio Valley Wrestling. Would it be the same if the New Day went to Ohio Valley Wrestling and fought for some belts?
Well, you know what? I have to get a second opinion on this thing. So we got to go to the wrestler of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. Your boy, Mr. Everything, Victor Andrews. What's happening,
Yo, what up, guys? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you pretty good. Man, what do you think about the New Day going down to NXT to face Pretty Deadly for the NXT Tag Team titles?
Hey, haven't we been talking about this for a long time? A lot of the guys that are on the main roster need to go down to NXT just to shake things up a little bit. And we've been talking about different things as far as the main roster going down to NXT and showing that NXT is not just a secondary brand. It's not an enhancement. It's a brand all in itself. So I love it. I love the fact that the New Day is going to go out there, do something different. And let's say they do get the NXT Tag Team Championships. That's going to add to their resume, and it's going to add to the resume of NXT. And it's going to push Pretty Deadly up pretty high, if you ask me.
I can agree with you on that standpoint. I think it almost has the feel of when Dolph Ziggler went down to NXT, and then he won the NXT title, and he brought a little bit more eyes on the NXT product. I think the New Day has the ability to do that, and I think that NXT is an environment where they can play around and be themselves. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to take things too seriously, and once they have the championships, they know how to have fun with the championships and still put on great matches. Chef Showtime, what do you think about this whole thing with your boys, the New Day, going down to NXT?
Let me see. Now, I think it's a great opportunity for them. It's gonna rejuvenate their careers. They're gonna take over. They're gonna take them belts. Everybody gonna like. They're gonna watch. I feel it's gonna bring more attention to NXT because New Day has a big fan base. You know, even with Big E out, you know, they still something. They're not the powerhouse they was, but there's something. It's gonna bring a lot of eyes to NXT. I like it. Love it.
I think they're going to be great down in NXT, man, and they can really mentor a lot of the young people. Xavier Woods was already doing that with a lot of NXT call-ups and a lot of NXT talent, so it just fits the mold. He can go down and be a teacher, and like I said, also put some more eyes on the NXT product. I'm excited about that. To see the New Day down in NXT, I think it's good, man. It's going to be hit the refresh button, come back, and be dominant again. Also on SmackDown, we saw the finals of the World Cup with your boy Ricochet winning the tournament. I didn't think that Ricochet was going to take this thing all the way through, especially when he was fighting Braun Strowman. I thought that was going to be a wrap on that. But Ricochet has proven to be a top-tier talent, and now Ricochet versus Gunther is going to happen. LP, what do you think about Ricochet versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship?
I mean, I like it. It's something new, something different. I don't know if they're gonna give it to Ricochet, which they should, but it's kind of hard to see if they're gonna do that. I think if they give it to him, they can kind of like maybe build it a little bit more, and then they can have a little bit something going on with that belt. I do like the fact that they gave the whole tournament toward the belt, so that kind of boosted it up. But I really think he's gonna shock everybody and win it. It's just a matter if WWE gonna pull that trigger. With they got a. How long Gunther had that belt? For a while, right?
For a couple of months. Yeah, I'm not sure how long, but it's been a while. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, he had it for a while. So even if he loses it and get it back, they need something fresh. And I think that dude Ricochet is ridiculous. I think I want to see Ricochet and Shelton Benjamin while Shelton Benjamin still can go. That is the match I want to see, like ASAP.
Well, we were previewed to see Ricochet versus Carmelo Anthony, man. I think that was a pretty good match. I wanted to see them two go, but I think once Carmelo comes to main roster, I think that the Carmelo Hayes versus Ricochet needs to happen on the grand stage, because I think they're gonna mix it up and give a banger of a match. I like the whole World Cup series, since right now it's the World Cup. United States just lost. They got kicked out of the World Cup. Are you guys familiar with the World Cup? Do you have any teams that you're going for right now?
I was going for the USA, but I knew they weren't going. I knew we weren't going to bring it home.
Oh man, don't hate on the boys, man.
No, this ain't baseball. Them boys serious about it. Soccer.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mr. Everything, you got a team that you want to take the World Cup home?
I don't care about the World Cup, but can I say something about this match between Ricochet and Santos Escobar for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
WWE fans, y'all make me sick. I'm on my LP-ish today. Y'all make me sick. Them guys went out there and killed it. That would have been my match of the week had it not been for those stupid fans doing whatever they were doing in the crowd. I don't know if they were throwing a soccer ball, a beach ball, picking each other's noses, or something. Them guys go. Listen, every time we step in a ring, it is a danger to our lives every single time. And to take away from a spectacular match like that, to do something, I don't know what they were doing, but they wasn't paying attention. They were out there screaming and laughing and joking and getting on my daggone nerve. And then the following week, they're going to sit down on their hands and act like the triple threat wasn't the best match of the daggone women's division for a very long time. It make me sick. You want good matches, you want great matches, they give it to you, and you act like you ain't got no daggone sense. And I blame John Cena. I love John Cena. He's great. He's one of the greatest. But I blame him because he's always been, oh, let the fans have fun. If they're going to sit out there and throw beach balls, I'm going to go out there and throw a beach ball. No! Stop it! Stop it! Okay? The match was great. It was spectacular. And it would have been 5-star had it not been thrown off about the fact that the fans was out there doing whatever they were doing and made some spots sloppy. Stop it! Let these men go out there and work, do what they're doing, get these great matches, sit down, you pay your ticket.
He's so frustrated, the words won't even come out.
I was holding for the whole week. It was making me mad.
Well, you should have let me know. I would have let you do your rant. You know what I'm saying? I would have switched from LP to Mr. Everything's rant. I think that they do put on. I mean, I knew they were going to put on a great match, man. And I would love to see them go against each other again. I think Santos Escobar. A lot of people are underestimating this cat, man, and what he can bring to the table. I'm really excited to see what he can do. But Ricochet right now, he got Gunther, man. That's a big mountain to climb. He faced Gunther. Actually, Gunther took the belt off of Ricochet, if you guys remember. So Ricochet gets a chance, had a little bit of redemption. I want to see it, man. I think they're going to put on a great match. Maybe we might see Braun Strowman come out.
We will.
Help out Ricochet a little bit. That's a possibility. But we shall see. This Ricochet versus Gunther match is going down, Jack. And I'm excited to see it.
I think.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I think we might should talk about what Mr. Everything said. Just on the fact of, I thought it was just me. Some of the last pay-per-views, some of the last Raw SmackDown, the crowds don't be in it like they used to be in it. Is it just me? Like the pops don't be. I understand what he's saying. Like when I'm watching, I'm just like, what are these people watching? Like the pay-per-view crowds. Clash. I mean, I think the last best crowd was probably Clash at the Castle. When that's when Drew would have won. You know, the building would have exploded.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Ray Wyatt came back. That was a bit pop. You know, people like Sammy, but for the most part, most of the shows, they're not. You know, is it just me?
I see it too.
Go ahead.
No, I'm telling LP, I can see it too, and it makes no sense. Like these guys are going out there giving you great matches. The women's match, the triple threat was amazing. They went out there and they did a thing, and the fans are sitting there like they ain't even watching everything go down. I don't understand it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what needs to change, but the fans need to stop it. Stop it.
I think that, certain markets have better fans than others. I'll be honest with you. I think that the Carolinas have a really good fan base. New York has a really good fan base. Boston, Philadelphia, those are in Georgia, certain places in Georgia, Florida also. So those are wrestling mainstays, man, where the crowd is really hyping. To be honest with you, New York and Chicago and Philadelphia are known to have some of the greatest wrestling crowds. And that's why a lot of people like wrestling in front of crowds because of the energy that they produce. Some of the other places that you go to, it might not be that same type of energy. Some people might not want to stand up. You know what I'm saying? They be drinking their beer and eating their nachos. They don't want to stand up and cheer for what? So it just depends on where you are, man. And I think that the crowd is definitely the sixth man and really makes the matches. And we saw during the Thunderdome era that, crowdless matches are weird. You know what I'm saying? They can be really, really weird. They're quiet. You hear everything, especially if somebody is communicating. You hear everything. Throw me. What you mean? You throw them, hit me in the face. It's weird. You know what I mean? You don't want to hear calls being heard over the matches. You know what I mean? I think Rhonda had a hard time with that when she first started, where the things she was saying was being picked up on the microphones, and they kind of criticized her for a little bit about that. But the Thunderdome era was a very difficult era. Let me go around the room. What do you guys think about the Thunderdome era versus what wrestling is now? Did you think the WWE did a good job with the Thunderdome, the whole era, and keeping everybody safe and try to still put on a wrestling show? Because for a small period of time, WWE was the only thing that was really smoking during the COVID era. So how do you guys feel about the Thunderdome era versus now? LP?
I think they did the best with what they had. I mean, just like anybody else that try to keep on going, I think they did. People still was getting COVID. I don't think they did 100% on protecting some of their stars, because I used to keep up with a lot of the news back then. With the way someone was getting COVID and stuff. Not like I think the NBA did the best job when it comes to sports to take care of their stars. But I think they made it happen for what it was.
Yeah. Chef, did you like the Thunderdome era? Did you like how the matches were being booked, and you had Drew McIntyre and Bayley, who were the champions at the time? I know Drew really carried the whole company on his back. Did you enjoy the Thunderdome era, or do you like how wrestling is now with a live crowd?
I like how it is now, but you can see they tried. They tried to keep up with everybody else. It could have been better, because you had people paying all that money to be on the screens, and they be below the barricade. You barely can see their face. Like you pay all that money, but nobody can see your face. You pay for.
I started to do that. I started to pay for. I wanted my face to be shown too. I was like, I'm gonna be big face like this the whole time. So I wanted to be in one of those Thunderdome TVs. I wanted to peep my face.
I wanted to till I seen it was a match. I think Drew knocked somebody over the barricade, and the TV went straight. There was TVs at the below people on there. I'm like, you can't see these people. What the fuck? That might be me. No, I'd be mad.
I thought it was free. I was paying for that.
Yeah, you pay for that.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. I thought it was this whoever could get a chance to get on. Wow. Okay.
I thought it was like that too. I didn't know that you had to pay for it. I know some of them you did, but yeah, for the most part, I thought you just had to get on there. It was like first come, first serve kind of thing. Oh man. But the Thunderdome taught a lot of people a lot of things, man. And you really had to learn your wrestling. You really had to know your partner. If you weren't good, it showed. So all the flaws showed. You couldn't feed off the crowd. Promos were completely different. So, but it also gave us a little bit of cinematic matches where we had The Undertaker versus AJ Styles, which LP, I think you're a fan of that match. Do you guys like cinematic matches? Matter of fact, let me go to Mr. Everything. Have you ever been a part of a cinematic match?
Yeah, pretty much control your narrative. That's all we really do, as far as the freedom narrative segments that we did a couple last year. So those were cinematic, and I love them because it actually gives us the opportunity to do something different, think outside of the box. I loved it during the Thunderdome era because it made people think. It gave a lot of room for creativity, like making Bray Wyatt, disappear and reappear in different areas, and the whole thing he did with John Cena was really cool. So I love that portion of creativity when it comes to the cinematic style.
Yeah, Chef, were you a fan of the cinematic matches? I believe Matt Hardy really made those kind of famous, or I can't say famous, but he made it notable. He became known for cinematic type matches. I've seen him put on a few. What do you think about the cinematic matches, and do you think there's a place for cinematic matches in the future moving forward in wrestling?
Yeah, there's always going to be a place for that, but I wasn't a big fan of it, but it's okay to me.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and over to Monday Night Raw, man. I have to mention that I love seeing legends come back and interact with today's talent. JBL, I feel, is doing a great job. That's really not being talked about. He's so beloved, but he's a great heel, man. And this past Monday, we saw the JBL Invitational, where it was a bit backstage segment where different talent came and they were participating in a large poker game. It almost gave me APA vibes a little bit, which I really loved. And if you don't know who the APA was, the Acolyte Protection Agency is what it started off as under the Undertaker. They were called Acolytes. Am I right, LP? I know you, Undertaker. Yeah. Yeah. So they started under the Undertaker, and they branched off and they became the APA. John Layfield Bradshaw, and the one and only.
Ain't nobody gonna help you.
Huh?
Ain't nobody gonna
The
help.
one and only Ron Simmons. You think I don't know? Damn, that's where that came from. You know what I'm saying? The one and only Ron Simmons. They were men's men. They made you want to drink a beer with them. They always were getting brawls. They had really great segments backstage. And so a little bit of that was brought to the forefront with the JBL Invitational, where you had some squabbles going on during some of these backstage segments. One of the ones that was interesting to me was the OC and Baron Corbin versus the Alpha Academy. I'm sorry, the OC versus Alpha Academy and Baron Corbin. That was a great interaction. LP, did you get to check out that match between the OC and the Alpha Academy versus and Baron Corbin?
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good. And to go back to what you're saying, the whole poker. It's funny because when I missed the very start of Raw, I was doing something else. So when I turned on the TV, I turned it on when the poker game was going on. And it's like looking at the good guys and the bad guys in one room playing cards. I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, I didn't even know what was going on. I was like bugging because I was like, Dominic Mysterio, why is he in the room with this, that, and the third? With, back in the days, like, Thanksgiving and just the different stuff they used to do when everybody be in the room. Normally a big brawl end up happening. So right. I did like that vibe because it gave me the old school kind of vibe. So I like the way they set that up, and then they set up the matches throughout that. I hope they do more of that. That was I think that was good. And both matches, not Dominique match. I don't want to get into that match. I don't even know who that guy Dominique Font was, but
let me talk about it because that was one of my favorite segments from that. But just to go to your point, real quick, the OC versus Alpha Academy and Baron Corbin, I thought it was a really good match. Baron Corbin looked strong in that match. The Alpha Academy looks great. The OC also looked strong as a unit. The OC ended up pulling off the win. against the Alpha Academy and Baron Corbin, which was really cool. But to go back to the JBL invitation, and this was one of my favorite segments throughout the night because it was so funny to me. So Akira Tozawa, who's a wrestler, he's really good. He was a light heavyweight champion for WWE back in the day, and then he had a couple of segments with the 24/7 championship. He had this whole ninja gimmick where he would wear the ninja outfit, and so he was doing a lot of segments with R-Truth. So he was in this backstage segment, and I guess he just won a hand in poker. He started collecting his money, and Dominic Mysterio snuck his hand over and grabbed some of his chips. And so Tozawa was like, "Hey, man, what you doing?" Dominic was like, "Hey, I can take whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. And if you got a problem with that, then you got a problem with the Judgment Day." Tozawa put his hand on. He was like, "Oh, I don't care." that was one of the funniest things that I saw. You guys got to go back and watch it, man. But that led into a match with Dominic and Akira Tozawa. Well, Akira Tozawa proceeded to whoop Dominic's ass that whole entire match until the end. I think Akira Tozawa's skills have been underlooked, but Dominic did his soggy ass frog splash, and he won the match. But I was really impressed with Akira Tozawa, and I hope they use him a lot more for comedy segments as well as some in-ring wrestling, because he can go, man. And smaller wrestlers really don't get their shine like they should on main product, but I think they are now under Triple H, man. But I thought that segment was really good. And let me go to LP. How do you think Dominic is performing?
If you go back and watch some of the earlier shows, I was one of the ones that was like, it had potential when they first put him in that group. You could clearly see me saying that. They have not done not one thing with him. He has the worst frog splash. I've never been in a wrestling ring, and I have never jumped off the top rope. I will bet my life I could do a better frog splash than Dominic Mysterio. He needs to stop doing that completely. It's like, if you just go back and watch, it was horrible. Like all these guys, Montez Ford jumping through the damn rafters, Logan Paul. I mean, everybody's doing it better than you. Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
And Rey Mysterio is supposed to be Eddie Guerrero is supposed to be like your family, your daddy, and some people may say.
Stop. Stop.
And I think they're wasting Dominic, because the thing with Dominic is whenever they decide to get rid of this Judgment Day stuff, he's done. He's done.
Man, Mr. Everything, as a wrestler, man, are you starting to become impressed with Dominic's in-ring work? Mr. Everything.
I think you're on mute.
All right, let me switch that over to Chef. What do you think about Dominic's in-ring work?
Whoa. I think the water boy in the back has more potential than Dominic Mysterio. I've been saying that since forever. Dominic needs to just sit down and just quit. They just need to do a real I quit match and make him sign over his contract to the water boy. He might do something better than he do. Man, I can't watch that.
That's cold-blooded, Jack.
True though, like every match. Every match, if you watch his matches, every match he's getting his butt kicked. Then he's scooting back with his hands up like, I'm sorry. There's some way Judgment Day interferes and help him win.
I think that's part of his character. He needs to get rid of it, man. He almost gave me Sami Zayn vibes before he joined the Bloodline, when his finishing move was like cowering out and then finding a crafty way to pin somebody. That's how Sami Zayn would get some of his wins for a little bit. And I feel like Dominic is kind of doing that. And he's leaning on the Judgment Day too much. And he's disrespecting Rey Mysterio way too much, man. And I don't like it. And I don't know why they trying to force feed that. Just leave Rey alone. Y'all ain't even on the same shows, bro. Go and just focus on what you got going on. Leave Rey Mysterio out of it. Because he's, to be honest with you, kind of tarnishing a little bit of Rey's reputation, man. And yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. LP, do you feel like some of the things that Dominic is doing is really tarnishing a little bit of his father's history?
Yeah, I think the moment he showed up, he started tarnishing. Even when he was with him, that's like LeBron James' son not being able to play basketball. Like you just can't do that. Like if we did a top 5 of the worst wrestler kids, I think he would be number 1. David Flair probably be number 2. Like I don't know who the rest of them would be, but them two will probably be the 2.
Nah.
Is anybody worse? Has any other?
Dominic make David Flair look like an all-star. I'm just saying.
Like I can't think of no other wrestler's son. Even
it's been a few flops.
Even the King's son, which nobody knew who was the King's son, what Grandmaster Sensei or whatever. Like at least even Mr. Perfect's son, like everybody else had did a little something. Dominique is the worst. He is number 1. I think you should research it or put it in the comments, or somebody can tell me somebody's son who's worse than Dominique.
Oh man, well let me go from worst to something of a little bit of potential. One of the Bloodlines legacy member, Umaga. His son has is about to start training with, I believe, Booker T's wrestling school, and I'm really excited for that potential if he is good. I believe, I don't want to butcher the boy name. I believe his name is Zilla Fatu. I'm not sure what his wrestling name is going to be, but I'm excited to see if he has potential. I think Booker T School is a great platform to really be pushing out young talent. To actually, now that I think about it, Monday was the 13th year since the death of Umaga. And now that I think about it, on Monday Night Raw, Solo Sikoa did a tribute to Umaga, where he did the Samoan spike, where he has his thumb wrapped up and he grabs his opponent and he jabs the thumb into the opponent's neck. And he also does his move, the spinning solo, which is one of Umaga's moves also. So I love seeing that segment where Solo Sikoa was paying tribute to one of the elders in the bloodline, and I used to love Umaga, man. I loved his finish too. Let's go around the board real quick. LP, what do you think about Umaga, man? You know, paying a little bit of tribute to Umaga. What do you think about Umaga in the ring, man? And do you have any favorable Umaga moments?
I like Umaga. I really think they should have gave him the big belt. I don't know why they didn't ever do it, but he was a beast. Like that. That's a even when Solo. I'm actually starting to like Solo a little bit. I don't know what it is, but Solo don't talk when everything going on. He just sitting there like Solo is like a damn dog. Like I'm gonna give him I'm trying to continue to go, but I'm starting to like him the most out of the people in the bloodline right now. But Umaga, man, he was I can't remember who his manager was. The guy that used to be his manager, I can't remember.
It's on the tip of my tongue, and I can almost see it.
Yeah, I can see. I can't think, but that whole dynamic, like I don't care if you was a man, you was a woman, it didn't matter who it was. He would have yoked you in a heartbeat. Like I like Umaga. He definitely I think was one of the most dominant Samoans ever.
Yeah. Chef, do you remember Umaga in his in-ring work?
Yeah, I love Umaga. He was vicious, and his manager Armando, he was good too.
Okay, that's what it was.
He was good too. You know, but that tribute was awesome. I was like, man, he did the whole little Umaga, the little flare with his tongue out, didn't stab you. Man, I was happy to see that.
When I saw his thumb wrapped up, I knew what it was. Yeah. I was like, oh man, I was like, is he about to do? And then he started. I was like, yo, he about to do the Samoan Spike, and then he did it. I'm happy that move is back because it takes a. I don't know how you jab somebody in the throat with your thumb and your thumb not jam. I've hit it on the door and jammed my thumb, and I almost felt like my whole arm was paralyzed. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how you do that and not jam your thumb. But I mean, I think it's a great move, man, and I was excited to see Solo Sikoa pay tribute to Umaga. And so let's see, fellas. Let's give it a little bit of time, man. If Zilla Fatu has a little wrestling bug, man, and if the boy is good, he may be joining the bloodline.
But you know, you can't be worse than Dominic. You gonna get a job anyway. Go. You can't be worse than Dominic.
Man, y'all leave Dom alone, man. Oh man. Also, man, we saw the bloodline versus Riddle and KO. Let's talk about that match, man, because the bloodline took out Riddle's partner at the time, who was the one and only
Elias.
I love Elias. I don't like this babyface Elias. I'm a fan of heel Elias. Babyface Elias is corny to me. But Elias got taken out on Monday. And so it was your boy Riddle and his partner came out, KO. LP, I know you love seeing KO. Let me know what you think about this match between the Bloodline versus Riddle, KO.
I thought it was good. I like they still trying to keep that story going. With keeping KO in the mix. I still think it's gonna have something to do with later on. I don't know how yet, but I still think it's gonna have to do something on. But the best part of what went down was the fact that Matt Riddle got taken off in the ambulance. So I do not have to see Matt Riddle for a couple of weeks.
How was that the best part? I love what damage that man got. He said the best part was when he was hurt.
I was hoping that somebody would have jumped in the ambulance and just gave him a couple more 2 pieces. Just to put him in. I hate Matt Riddle, so I'm definitely so glad that they did that to him because he's annoying.
That's cold-blooded.
Man. That is cold-blooded, man. I thought the match was really good, man. It had some really good points. There was even a little moment where Solo and KO came face to face, and that was really intense, man. And then, who was it that jumped on the rope? Matt Riddle jumped across the rope and hit Solo, fell on top of Solo. Sami Zayn pulled Jay back. Jay was able to come back with the super kick, kicked him in the face. And the Bloodline was able to pull out that win, remaining dominated on top. I love seeing the Bloodline, man. They firing on all cylinders, man. You can't say nothing bad about them right now. They are at the top of their game, Jack. Another little interaction that we saw was they had a women's qualifying match for the WWE Women's title. Bayley versus Rhea versus Asuka. I thought that was a great match. The women showed up and showed out during that match. But the thing that everyone is talking about is the stare down heard around the world when Rhea Ripley walked out and Becky Lynch was walking up, exiting, leaving, and her and Becky had a face-to-face interaction. Man, it seems like they're hinting at something. LP, do you think we're going to see a Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch match sometime in the future?
Yeah, I think they don't got a chance. They don't have a choice but to do it. While Becky been gone, Rhea been coming up. So I think they pretty much gotta, they got. I don't think Rhea can beat Becky. I mean, I think they can make it that way, but I don't think Rhea is better than. I like Rhea, but I don't think she's better than Becky.
Hold on. Did you say that you don't think that Rhea can beat Becky? First of all, did you not see the intimidation?
I know they boosted. I know they have boosted Rhea up. I mean, like, I gave Rhea her props when, I don't know, I can't remember what Royal Rumble it was, when it was her, I think it was Charlotte, her, and Bianca with the three left in the Royal Rumble. I think that was Royal Rumble. Like I didn't know who she was until that. That was the first time I really seen her even wrestle. I don't know, I must have missed it before that. But I was like, damn, this chick is good. And I thought they were about to push her, but then they started pushing her, then they pulled it back. And then she got hurt or whatever. But now that she's been back, since she's been with the Judgment Day, now the fans gonna get behind her. So now they're pushing her a lot like they did Becky. You remember Becky? The fans started pushing. The fans wanted Becky. They didn't want to give Becky that belt. You remember how they kept on screwing Becky until they didn't have no choice. So I definitely think Rhea has become a star like Becky now. She wasn't before.
I can see that. The Rhea Ripley of old really didn't have any personality. You know what I'm saying? She was a big presence, but I didn't like her small championship runs, man. Even when she was tag team champion, I didn't like that. When she did she win she won the NXT championship, but also did she win the women's championship?
Not yet.
Did she have a belt for a small part?
No, because I thought they were gonna have her fight Charlotte, but then they didn't. They was looking like they was headed that way. Yeah, they didn't do it.
Okay. But this Rhea Ripley, man, her character and her star are right here, Jack. And she is going to go through the moon. And when she finally does face Bianca, I think that's a WrestleMania match. I wouldn't book that for no other thing other than I would do WrestleMania and I would do the Royal Rumble. But I will book that match for one of those because that's going to be explosive. Power for power, speed for speed, and they both they work together really well. I think that's going to be a down, drag out fight, man. But that stare between Rhea and Becky, man, that was intense. I was old school. You know what I'm saying? 1980s, 1990s, gave me Stone Cold vibes. You know what I'm saying? Rhea walked off and then turned right back around and went back in her face. I loved every minute of that. I thought that was a great moment on Monday Night Raw.
Somebody need to go to SmackDown, though.
Yeah, man. I think it just needs to switch up a little bit. Also, man, your boy Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins had a little interaction, a little tussle on Monday night. Where we saw WWE producer Petey Williams get speared, damn near gored by Bobby Lashley. Bobby was aiming for Seth. He went in for the spear. Boom. Seth slid out the way, and Bobby ended up inadvertently hitting Petey Williams, WWE producer. I hate to see it, but it happened. Later on, Adam Pearce came to Bobby and said, "Hey, man, we know that's normally not you. You normally do that." And Bobby was like, "Well, just make sure they stay out of my way." Bobby is back to the badass Bobby, man. I like to see it. I don't like babyface Bobby, but I love heel Bobby. How do you guys feel about this Bobby versus Seth match that they might be trying to push for next year? Let me go, Chef.
I like it more if it was like a triple threat match for the belt again, because it put more oomph into the match. But just them two fighting, just to fight, it's not worth watching. Because that whole little, when they start fighting in the ring, they made Seth Rollins look like he was just a beast. You feel me? No.
Yeah, exactly.
No, like he breaking out and attacking Bobby. Like, no, bro, you guys was holding back Brock Lesnar. You know, Brock couldn't go nowhere, but you let this little dude explain you guys and run up.
Every time Bobby touched him, though, he lifted him up. He was, every time Bobby touched him, he lifted him up, Jack. LP, what do you think about this Bobby versus Seth feud? And do you like this new Bobby?
I'm hoping they heading toward a Hurt Business reunion, which that's probably a pipe dream, but that's what I'm hoping. Because MVP, I'm hoping he pop back up in some kind of way now that Bobby going heel. But I agree with Chef. I said the same thing. I'm just like, come on now, this ain't Matt. Y'all can do that with Matt Riddle and Seth, but y'all can't do that with Bobby and Seth. And I think it shows the writing. It shows the writing how bad WWE is, because Seth kept on saying that they keep on acting like Bobby can't beat Brock. He's already beaten Brock. He beat Brock before. They keep on saying he's never beaten Brock. Even the announcers, it's like, do y'all think y'all fans are stupid? Like, he has beaten Brock before.
Yeah.
I hate the way that even Bobby should have said that by now. Like, look, I beat him before. Y'all can stop saying that. And then he murdered him the whole match. He lost off some I think they still trying to push Brock. Brock gonna show back up, and him and Bobby gonna fight again, either WrestleMania or they definitely keep. They keep on sprinkling it in there. I'd rather see that. Another problem I had too was Seth and Bobby fighting for the number one contendership for the belt. All they gotta do is go back there and ask for a title shot. He literally gave Mustafa Ali a title shot just because he said something to him.
Just because he asked for one.
That made no sense. I'm like, these guys are fighting over number one contendership when you gave a random person in the background a title shot.
Well, you got to kind of make it look entertaining, LP. You know how it goes.
He just could have wrestled him. It should not have been for the title. Like, come on, like consistency. I'm big with consistency when it comes to storyline. That made no sense.
All right. Well, with that being said, LP, it was a lot of moments that happened over wrestling, man. And so, we got to come to the genie. Come to the one and only dawn of the best damn wrestling podcast. And that's your boy LP. What was your best damn moment?
All right, I think the best moment we kind of spoke on earlier was definitely Ricochet. That Ricochet match. Like, I'm not familiar as much with the guy he fought, but that dude got some skill too. Yeah, so that I like that match because, like, for a person like me who ain't really been paying attention to him, that made me pay attention to him. Like, I'm like, damn, this dude is all right. Like, that little squad might be all right. And it's stuff like that grabs me as a fan. Just like with Imperium. At first, I didn't know who these guys were, but then I started watching them more and more. And then I liked that vibe. I like that. I'm about to get me one of them shirts. Like, Imperium, that's my squad. I hope they don't get rid of them by the time I start liking them. But like, the first time I seen Ricochet was, it might have been NXT. I don't know what it was, but he jumped and flipped over the rope and just landed outside of the rope. I think it was he was having an argument with the guy that used to call himself the Pope or something like that. I can't remember what show it was. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. So Ricochet jumped out of the ring, did a flip, and landed flat-footed like it wasn't nothing. Like, that was one of the dopest things I've ever seen. And I'm like, who is this dude? But then when he came WWE, they really want to use him, like they should. And now they kind of giving him his shine. So I definitely hope this is Ricochet's moment to shine, and I hope they don't waste it. I really hope they use it. But that dude, he ain't got the best mic skills, but he's not those kind of wrestlers that need mic skills. He's an action guy. Like, he's not gonna cut no killer promos.
No. You're not gonna hear a great promo from Ricochet. Maybe sometime in the future, man, when he get a little age on him. But right now, Ricochet, man, he does all his action and all his talking in the ring.
Yeah,
Chef Showtime. What you think?
Yeah. I just forgot what I was thinking about.
What do you think about that best damn? What do you think about that best damn moment? The LP told you about the Ricochet versus
Ricochet?
Santos match, man. Yeah.
I don't like Santos Escobar. That's one wrestler I do not like that guy. I was happy when Ricochet won. I was like, yes, because I thought, Santos Escobar, he liked to cheat. His little minions come out and cheat. That's what I was looking for the whole time. I was waiting. It didn't happen. So I'm like, oh my gosh, dude really sucks by himself. So
no, you gotta watch Santos's matches, man. Some of his matches in NXT and some of his matches with AAA, man. I think that he'll show his worth. You'll see it, and you'll become a Santos Escobar fan. But for the fact that you said that he sucks, sir, I can't. I just can't. I just can't. Oh man.
I don't know. He sucks.
It's all good, man. Santos, I got your back, man. Hey, listen, y'all gonna see some great stuff from Santos Escobar, man, and his faction, Legado del Fantasma. Chef, man, the holidays are upon us, man. We just had Turkey Day, Thanksgiving, and now Christmas is coming up. So we got to go to the chef of the Best Damn Wrestling podcast, and that's Chef Showtime. What's your best damn recipe?
My best damn recipe this week was my bourbon sauce with the bourbon chicken. You put that bourbon sauce with bourbon to my honey chicken. That two things right there combined, it is delicious. I'm telling you, use them two, LP, the honey chicken with the bourbon sauce. Yeah, it's gonna make you want to slap your mama. She might swing back though, but duck.
You better not slap no black mama. Don't let the movies fool you.
No. You have to go to the white neighborhood and slap your mama. You might get away with it.
Oh man, hey chef, where can the beautiful people find your best damn recipes?
You can find the best the bourbon sauce and the honey chicken recipe on the Best Damn Webcast page on Facebook. You can find it on my TikTok. Yeah, on TikTok. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, my TikTok. If my son didn't mess with it. So, yeah.
Get control of your TikToks, man. Don't stop letting your kids control your stuff.
Your nephew bullies me. He's bullying me all the time.
Oh man. All right, cool, man. If you guys want to check out more recipes, you can go to our Facebook group. Now, well, we have a new Facebook group, beautiful people. It's called the Best Damn Wrestling Nation. If you want to join the Facebook group, get in some questionnaires, possibly win some goodies, and interact with the Best Damn Wrestling crew, you go over to Facebook to the groups and you join the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast Facebook group. All right. On the last note before we end the show, I got to change the tone a little bit. The Best Damn Wrestling Podcast would like to give well wishes to the legendary Barry Windham. If you guys don't know who Barry Windham is a WWE Hall of Famer. He's also a member of the Four Horsemen, the original Four Horsemen. He just suffered a heart attack over the weekend. And so we at the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast wish him a speedy recovery. If you want to know someone who he's related to, He's the uncle of Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas, who are WWE wrestlers right now. They come from a legendary family. So if you're thinking like the bloodline, the Wyndham family is a legendary wrestling family also. So we would like to wish that family all of our prayers and wish a speedy recovery to Barry Wyndham. Fellas, it has been a great show. Let the beautiful people know what you got going on and where can they find you. Your boy LP, what's happening? What's going on with you?
Going on, same old photos all day long. Fashion show coming up next year. If you are in the North Carolina area, April the 23rd, the Renaissance Fashion Show is going down. You can find all that information on my Instagram. Spell the word out, one click, photography shoots with an S. You see everything you got going on up there.
All right. Chef Showtime, what you got going on and where can the people find you?
The only thing I got going on right now is security training for the Super Bowl. That and work kids, and you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitch, TikTok, and Twitter. Yeah, at Chef Showtime.
You gonna be security at the Super Bowl?
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they got the Super Bowl here in Phoenix, Arizona this year, man, and it's going to be crazy. If you guys haven't been to Phoenix, man, it's nice. LP, yeah, it's getting dry. LP, hey man, you put a couple ducats on a plane ticket, fly up here. They got all kind of models and stuff. You could be shooting in the desert, sweating, and then go to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Get you a taco and go back home and be happy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm working out.
Yeah, don't bring that thing out. But thank you, Chef. And my name is Brian Renegade. You can find me on all platforms at Brian Renegade. And if you want to follow the show, you can follow us on Instagram at the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. You can follow us on our Facebook page at Best Damn Wrestling. You can follow our Facebook group at the BD Wrestling Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Best Damn Crew, and you can follow us on Twitch at the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. And we have another group, beautiful people that I just told you about, the Best Damn Wrestling Nation. You can join us and interact with your boys, and we might have watch-alongs, all that good stuff that we can do on regular Facebook. So join our group, the Best Damn Wrestling Nation, on Facebook, and just keep up with what your boys got going on. Fellas, let's do a final word real quick. LP, you got a final word for the beautiful people.
Set your goals and stay the course.
Set your goals and stay the course. All right. Chef Showtime, you got a message for the beautiful people.
Message. Never trust a man with two black eyes.
Oh man, that was a good one. Oh man. And I'm gonna go super old school with this, man. Believe in yourself. If don't nobody else believe in you, believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. You are the creator of your future. Take control of it. Don't ask for permission. If you step on somebody's toes, ask for forgiveness. Beautiful people, thank you for joining us. We will see you next week on the next Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. Fellas, I bid you adieu.